Hello. I felt like making a quick little guide on the students in Blue Archive you should probably focus on, as I've seen most tier lists take way too long or are made by people way too inexperienced with the game, and I consider myself somewhat of a Blue Archivist. Jesus Christ. So I don't want to waste anyone's time and just get straight into it. So right now I would just like to run over the students who are most worth it, your time and investment. Of course, waifu over meta prevails. But if you're stuck on some content or you want to get more awards from raids, then this is the way to go. I have most of the good students here pinned. Some are unpinned. I'll go over them later because they're already maxed out, and these are just the ones that I want to put some more time into, or I just want them for easier access because I keep using them all the time. I'm gonna start with Tsubaki, who is a free unit. She starts off at 2 stars. She's the best tank in the game. Yada yada. You probably heard about her. Everybody uses her in PvP. She's also the best for PvE. She excels at everything except when the enemies deal blue damage. And even then she can still survive. She's got an auto heal when she's low HP. There's nothing to learn about her, just keep leveling her. Then there's Shizuka Swimsuit, which is a free event character. You're gonna get her on the rerun, which should be very soon. Also from the best event in the game. She has a reposition, which is super important. She and another free unit are the only two free units with reposition in the game, and there's 2 more units that are that you have to gamble for that also give you reposition, which is still a very low amount compared to the total amount of units in the game. And reposition is a key for some raids, where otherwise you're gonna get insta killed and nothing's gonna save you. Also, she gives a shield, and her most important part for me is the crit damage increase for 1 ally. So you can use her with some of the most meta units, which we're gonna get into. To build her, you just level her. There's nothing to really think about. Hospital Nodoka. Well, first I'm gonna tell you the most important tip, which I would say makes you from a free-to-play into feeling like a whale, which is save your Paroxene, your premium currency, for about half a year and then spend it all on the anniversary banner, because there's a double rate up, and I see no point in pulling standard banner characters, which are characters that can drop from any banner just at random, when again, you can get them at random from any banner, and the anniversary banner has double rate up. So basically I was at like 87 students before the last anniversary, and now I'm at like 130. Basically I'm only missing like 2 of them, I believe, which is pretty insane, and I spent like 740 pulls or something like that. I had that saved up just from, playing the game. So that's the most important tip. You can close the video now, have a good one. And we can continue with the student theory. Okay, Hospital Nodoka, best multi-target over time healing in the game. Needs a lot of investment for her to start healing. So you're gonna need a lot of gear and a lot of levels into this. And her carry boost as well. But after that, she lets you survive basically anything. And you can see that most of my students are 5-star. I usually spend the shop currency, the Eligma balls or whatever it's called, to get them to 5-star, because if you don't have them at 5-star, if you have them 4-star or below, they're gonna get capped at 20 relationship points. And with more relationship points, you of course get boosts to them, attack, HP and whatnot. And also some of them get special gear unlocked here in the 4th slot, which boosts them in a pretty crazy way, and some terrible units become meta, even just due to that one gear. And to upgrade it to level 2, you need a relationship level 25, which you cannot get unless you have 5-star at least. Near Fuka, she lowers your X skill cost for one student once by 50%, which is insane. She also gives a lot of damage for a long time. One of the best students, even though I already had Ui, which we're gonna come to later, who does the same but for 2 uses. I still pulled on her because A, she is limited. She's on the limited banner, so she's worth pulling. And B, she works extremely well with a special meta unit I'm gonna come to in a bit, which is the same for Shizuka Swimsuit. They both work super well with this one meta unit, which destroys basically all the content in the game. Iroha, she pops down in a Tiger tank, which is super cool. She's a standard banner, but she's worth pulling for, even though she's on a standard banner, because she just destroys everything. She has 2 attacks where she basically hits everything on the screen, and she deals so much damage it kills backline snipers in PvP. That's why she's still used in PvP. And in campaign it basically makes you skip away from enemies instantly, which is pretty insane. So yeah, she's worth it if you can get her, even just on her banner, which is standard. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on recommending you pulling for her. Leveling wise, you just level her, and you can keep her at 3 stars actually, because she gets very little bonuses from getting stats. That's how tanks work in this game. Like, she summons the tank and the tank only gets like a small part of her stats, so it doesn't matter that much. I still have her at 5 stars because I just made it a rule for myself to keep her at 5 stars, so they keep accumulating these relationship points in case they get a gear later. Here's the super meta unit I was talking about, Mika. She basically destroys everything. I did go quite ape on her banner. I have like 500-600 extra Ligma on her. And it's worth it in case if they ever add 5-star weapons later on. She kills everything. She makes all of her attacks into crits. She has 100% guaranteed crit rate. And she just gets this is the passive for that, and she just gets more damage and more damage. You put New Year Fuka on her so that this doesn't cost 6 but it costs 3, and this basically takes off like 10-20 health bars of any raid boss. She's so good she even kills blue enemies because she deals X1 damage. And I've seen Excel spreadsheet where some people tested the math, and her on her worst terrain, which is urban, still deals 50% more damage than Kazusa, who was the previous meta piercing type single target damage unit, on Kazusa's best terrain, which is pretty freaking insane. Building her, you have all the skills unlocked from the start because she's a 3-star, so you just level her and try to level her as much as possible because she's worth it. Ayana Swimsuit, a free unit. I wanted to go back to this and say this is an anniversary unit, so you can only get these, like this and 2 more units, you can only get them when you pull on the anniversary banner, which the next one is gonna be with Hoshino's swimsuit. No, not Hoshino, Hanako swimsuit, and it's gonna be in a few months. So for sure save up on that because you can still get these previous anniversary event units even on like any other one. Okay, Ayana swimsuit, a free unit from an event. Summons a helicopter, so same as Iroha. Goes through defense and evasion. So it makes her very good in PvP, or not through evasion but through defense for sure. I'm not sure, maybe evasion too, I don't remember. Yeah, PvP or even like some raid bosses who have good evasion. Just level her, there's nothing to really think of, you just invest into her, she gets stronger. The Nomi swimsuit kind of needs to be 3-star weapon, which I do not have, and I suffered for it on the last raid boss, which was Hieronymus. Single target, auto attack, so you just use her X skill and she changes her normal attack for some time to deal more damage. Costs a lot, so put Fuka on her or you need some cost reduction. And yeah, again, building wise, level her weapon to 3. So this is big whale moment for big whale raid rankings. So probably not the best unit to invest in for you. She's a standard character, even though she looks like a limited one. So you're gonna get her eventually. Shun, one of the best characters in the game as well, because she just straight up gives you skill points at the start of a battle. So that makes her irreplaceable in PvP. Everybody runs her. Other than that, level this, and you can just use her as a throwaway student, just so that you can pass some hard content where you just need those skill points at the beginning, so you don't die, or so you start your combo or whatever the heck. So yeah, level this. Next, Izuna Swimsuit, really great because she gives you critical damage resistance, or lowers the critical damage resistance on the enemy. That means your Mika is gonna deal more damage. Even though she's Mystic, she's blue damage, you can put her into any team with Mika if you're fighting like yellow armor bosses, and she's gonna do her thing. She's straight up gonna let Mika deal like 40% more damage, which is totally worth it. Also, she has a focus assault skill, which is like I believe there's only like 3 students in the game that have this. This is really good against the raid boss Gauze, where you need to pick the real boss and only shoot him to deal damage. Otherwise, you're not dealing damage to his clones. So if they add any more stuff like that, you just click on the enemy that you have to shoot, and everybody's gonna shoot that because they're focused on that select enemy. So yeah, level this, I suppose, just level everything. She's super good. She has a ton of personal damage too, because she's got the attack speed increase and crits and blah blah. Of course, also best wife in the game. Here's another anniversary banner character. I have like, I don't know, 20 million spare Ligma for this character. I just keep getting her all the time. She gives you cost recovery, which means your X bar just keeps going up faster, and she gives you more attack and explosive damage, which is, these percentages are insane. Like 40% more attack, okay, but 100% more damage to red units, that is like unparalleled. So she is core for any red content in the game. Level 1 and 4, level these two, and try to max her out because she's worth it. And again, anniversary, so save up for that anniversary. Also, you get her for free. You can grind her from the shop, which is basically you get her for free. She deals insane percentages to a single enemy. Insane red target damage. Also works well with Arius students, which is where does it say what her? Well, I have no idea. But basically, with a school, okay, with a particular school. She's from Trinity, but she works as an RA student. We're gonna get to that later. I'm gonna tell you about some team combinations she works with. Just max her out because she gets stronger the more you invest into her. And you're gonna have her at max star rating because she's just free. Kokona, insanely good. Also, 11 years old. Just, some information for you to digest. She heals when you crit, and Mika always crits. So you pair her up with Mika, everybody's gonna get topped up. Her heal is 2 cost, which means she always heals. So she's amazing for her Hieronymus again. Basically top of the line. Just keep leveling her, she's gonna get stronger. Yuka, at the beginning she's good. Mid game she's trash. And when you get her to relationship level 25, she becomes super meta, and she's run into almost every PvP team because she has a ton of evasion just all the time, and then she gets 500 defense, which is a lot. So when you get never mind, this is actually tier 1, so you just need her at the relationship level 20. Okay, so when you get her to relationship 20, she becomes meta because you put this on her, she gets a lot of defense, she stops dying. Otherwise, she just keeps dying whenever you use her as a tank, and she's really bad. But yeah, a lot of stats. Again, don't use her until you get the relationship 20. Utaha, really good with tier 2, so relationship 25, because instead of 1 turret passively she gets 3. Other than that, I just really like her gameplay design. Of course, her character design is... yeah, it is. And I just like her summoning turrets that shoot for you. I like summoner gameplay in any game I play. So she works for me, and she also works meta-wise. Even in PvP, I see her quite often. I'm usually in the top 10, top 100 leaderboard on PvP, so I have some overview of what people actually run there. Just a good unit, and you get her for free from the shop, so you can max her out. Momoi, she's free, and she's literally insanely one of the best students in the game. And I have slept on her for the longest time. I only leveled her recently, and it is insane how good she is. This thing, it clears anything for free cost, and that's basically all you need to know. You see enemies, you pop this on them, they die. You don't have to pair her with her sister Momoi at all to get all you get all of these bonuses. You get the burn damage if you have Midori in the same unit, in the same team. I mean, you don't need that. She just destroys everything. She's free. She's from the shop. You're gonna max her out. Get this and just max out this, and you're gonna have a 3-star. She's gonna destroy anything. She works in half the raid bosses because there's half of them are yellow and have some fodder you need to get rid of. I mean trash mobs, and she clears them up really nicely for low cost. Wakamo, another not limited anniversary banner character. Yeah, she's really good at single target blue damage, but she's still waiting for time to shine. She should be getting a special gear slot very soon, when she's gonna become super strong. But right now she's kind of meh, even though I have her completely maxed out, or not completely actually. Yeah, I didn't have that many pulls saved up for the first anniversary. But she's coming as a separate banner character in this next anniversary, so if you really want to get her, you can. And I would recommend just getting 1 copy of her and then leveling her with the stuff you get from the shop, because once you have her, you can just keep buying her Ligma balls. I already made that joke from the store, which is what I'm doing. I already have a 2-star. So yeah, single target damage, you just keep building her, she gets stronger, max out her skill, I suppose. Waiting for her gear, just wait for her gear and she's gonna be super meta. Iori, you probably heard of her. People usually reroll for her. She's used all the way in PvP because it's a ton of piercing damage, which also splashes behind the target, so she can get that backline. Keep leveling her, level everything. Some people even recommend, well, most people actually recommend grinding her from the campaign every day from these missions, from the hard campaign, so that you get her 3-star, which I'm on the way to. Yeah, really good. Just get her, level her. Chinan's Wellspring, people sleep on her, and I'm a big advocate for using her, running her, because remember what I said about Iroha, that she's even worth pulling for, even if it's just on her standard banner. Yeah, this increases attack speed by 60%, so Iroha just fucks shit up like 60% faster. That's basically it, don't have to say anything else. And also her basic skill increases attack speed for random ally. Or not random, I don't know how this math works, but yeah, she just gives like 95% attack speed. And it doesn't matter what else she does, she keeps herself alive because she casts a shield on herself every time she does her ult, and her ult costs 2. So she's pretty insane in my opinion, and people sleep on her. Motsuki, free unit. Yeah, insane percentages. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting if she's limited or not. I believe not, and I already forgot to tell you about whether the previous students are limited or not, so we're just gonna move on and forget about it. Yeah, Motsuki, big percentages, especially on her skill. which is almost as devastating as her X skill. But you need to move her closer to the enemy, otherwise she's just gonna put the mines somewhere in between her and the enemy and it's not gonna do anything. So pair her up with Serena, which is the healer with 2 cost. We're gonna get to her, she's also super meta and super good. So we can move her closer to the enemy, so this deals damage to bosses and stuff. This doubles her DPS pretty much if you get her into a good position. So yeah, level these 2, and you can just farm her. I already have a 3-star. She drops from... She's a 2-star character at start, so you're gonna get a lot of her. Sukin, you're limited. I didn't forget to say that. Insanely good, because 2 cost and a huge AoE blue damage dealer. That's pretty much it. Yeah, just keep leveling her. And she's gonna trivialize all of the content in the game, because you can run her in against any kind of enemies and she just destroys any fodder, even like yellow, red, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of damage and it costs almost next to nothing. So basically the same deal as Momoi, but limited and blue. Shiroko was slept on her for the longest time. The first student I actually unlocked with a Ligma and got from a banner the next day, so I'm not making that mistake anymore. Single target, and her drone, when it kills one enemy, it shoots the rest of the rockets to another enemy. So it's not like locked onto one enemy and you do not waste any damage, even if you kill a low HP enemy. So she's kind of multi-target, I guess. She just got her gear some time ago, which makes her deal more damage, and I believe that's gonna make her better. But we have Azusa and other we have so many single target red damage dealing units that Shiroka's kind of lagging behind. But she's the poster child of the game, so you know, might be worth it to level her. Himari, one of the best, or maybe even the best support in the game. Definitely get her. She is not limited, I believe, but worth pulling for even on her standard banner, because she gives you cost recovery, which, same as Summer Hoshino, is, I believe, the best passive in the game that you can get, and she gives a fuck ton of attack to one ally for a very short time though. So you have to time it, so she uses it before the ally uses her direct skill and deals a ton of damage. If you're using Iori, you can actually use Iori X skill and then instantly use Himari and another buffer we're gonna get to, Ako, on her, and she's gonna, because she takes about a second wind up before she shoots her first shot, and this thing takes half a second to proc. So when you use this, half a second later it's gonna give the buff to the unit. So you can use, again, you can use Iori ult on an enemy, or X skill, I'm sorry for the lingo. You use Iori X skill on an enemy, and right away use this on Iori. Iori takes 1 second to shoot the first shot out of 3, and this takes half a second to apply to the unit. So why you would do that is because your rotation of the X skill cards you get advances in the order that you want. So if you use this first and then Iori, then you're gonna get Himari X skill first and then Iori X skill, like on the second rotation of your X skill cards. But if you use it in the order I told you about, you're gonna get Iori first, and then you can get like another X skill into the raid boss before your timer runs out. Just a thought, just some I guess fun little tech, you know, some nerd shit if you wanna learn about that. Building her, this and this, 1 and 4. The rest is like whatever. Yeah, 1 and 4. I've seen people not even build her with any equipment, or at least the third slot was just like level 1 watch, which I guess makes sense. There's some math behind that. Like, she really doesn't need max HP and crit, because she doesn't like do any damage at all. Well, I just like to keep them topped up. It tickles my OCD just right away. Izuna, again, best wife/daughter in the game. Insanely good for Shirokuro. She has reposition only for herself. A ton of attack speed, and her attack speed makes her deal more damage because of this skill. Level her, progressively she's gonna deal more damage. So single target, blue damage. And she's a standard character, so we're gonna get her eventually. Some people say it's even worth pulling her on her standard banner. I don't agree. We standard, not limited. She decreases the X skill cost twice, so for 2 consecutive X skills on one character. Use her when you have 2 on-field units with high skill costs that actually have to use their skill. So like Swimsuit Nonomi has 6 skill cost, and let's say you have Mika as well, or some dumb shit like that. I'm just making stuff up. Then you would use Ui. Otherwise, you would just use Fuka, New Year Fuka, because you just need to rotate one X skill. But this is just nerd shit. I'm saying Ui is worth it, but with New Year Fuka, you can probably skip her, because she just does the same, but she fits into a slightly different team comps. I rarely use her, especially since I got a New Year Fuka, and she tends to die a lot with only 30,000 HP. So yeah, I would say not as good as the internet told me she would be. Akko, people say she's the best support, or she was until Himari came around. I don't really see it. I know she's good. She gives you crit rate and crit damage for one unit. So you put her on Iori, you put Himari on Iori, then you use Iori X skill, and Iori just fucks shit up majorly. But I mean, on Mika, the crit rate is not gonna give you anything because Mika already has 100%, and 140% isn't gonna do anything. Mika's crit rate cannot even be lowered by enemies, even though some enemies try to do that, because she just has guaranteed crit rate. So this doesn't do anything. All that Mika gets is 73.3 more damage, which is good. But then again, you can use New Year Fuka and, let's say, Swimsuit Shizuko, which is like the second unit I showed you, who passively gives you this crit damage. And you also get reposition and shield. So I usually sleep on Akko lately, but she's got a small heal, which can work sometimes, you know, in some comps or in some content. She's really good. I would not pull on her myself if we were to do it again, but I got her in like 20 pulls on her banner on her second rerun, and it was good for me, but I would wait to get her from just off banner. Salary, my personal preference, as I said, waifu over meta. Otherwise she's kind of shit. Well, she's kind of medium to good. She has a lot of damage here. She deals guaranteed crit damage like Mika, but only with her X skill. Azusa, if you remember, deals 2000% something attack. This one deals 12, so she's like a worse Azusa. That's basically it. Her passive, what I talked about during Azusa, the Azusa segment, is her attack buff, depending on how many Arius students you have in the unit, which is students with this as the background, this chapel, this decrepit old building in the background, and Azusa also counts there because again, spoiler territory, I suppose, if you only start playing, but basically they're good friends. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, just keep leveling her if you want to, otherwise you can sleep on her, I suppose, but I like her. That's basically it. The Arius squad, like she and all of her friends, were super good for Hieronymus rate at one time, and then they got power crept by new students coming in, new team compositions. So they're just there for fan service at this point, I suppose. Kotama free unit. If you're starting out, you don't have Himari, you don't have Akko, you don't have Swimsuit Shizuka, you don't have some other insane meta like New Year Fuka. Kotama is the best support you can have. She gives a lot of attack to a circle of allies, so you can buff your entire team with this. And that's basically it. She also gives passive attack to all of them. And that's literally it. This is all she does, and she's like, I suppose, like Bennett from Genshin Impact, if you're unfortunate enough to play that game. Yeah, and she's free. So and you can level her from the shop. So you're gonna have her 3-star. Aru, AOE red damage dealer. That's pretty much it. She has her special thingy over here, which makes her secondary skill not random. Otherwise, it's RNG, 50% chance if it's gonna deal extra damage or not. That's pretty much it. Again, waifu top tier. Gameplay, she's good. She's good to great, but she has many alternatives. Speaking of many alternatives, here's Hina. What you have to understand is there's so many good Gehenna characters in the game. You're gonna run out of materials to level them up, as is evidence here. So you're gonna have to choose which one you get. So you get either Aru or you get Hina to level up. Again, waifu level top tier, except she's short, so she's a little more like middle shelf. And damage wise, really good as well. Costs a lot though, but if you run her with cost reduction, she was even mandatory, or at least for me and some people I know, to clear one of the latest events challenge stages, because they make those such bullshit and so difficult. You just can't humanly run them with unless you have some specific units, and I was quite surprised it was Hina that was able to clear it. Yeah, top tier wife material, so if you like her, definitely get her, level everything. She gets better progressively. Hibiki, meta queen at one point, now still really good. In PvP she targets the lowest HP, or I mean she always does, and in PvP this is good because she can pick off some enemies every 20 seconds. She deals a ton of AoE damage. If you overlap her AoE indicators on one unit, you can hit them 3 times, so this is like, I can't count, 1800% of attack basically to one unit. Level her progressively, she's really good at AoE. Her special skin, which is coming up later, or not coming up, but I'll try not to forget, is super cute, so top wife material, at least in her alternate outfit. Here's Atsuko, which she's also from Arius. She's really good because she heals. She's a tank that heals everyone in AoE around her, and she gives a ton of evasion to her allies and herself. So PvP, works in PvP, works in raids, also heals, which is rare. I would say she's good, and she stacks with Saori and the others. Karen, stat stick, yeah, she's basically stat stick. She shoots a single target for a lot of damage. Who cares? People just carry her around because if you level her, unlike I did, I keep sleeping on her even though I have her 3-star. Her attack is gonna be like insane, and 10% of a support unit's attack goes to your main squad, to everyone on your main squad. So she can give like 1,000 or something attack to everyone on your main squad, which is pretty insane. You don't even have to use her X skill. You can put her into any team comp, into any raid, into red damage, blue damage. You just don't use her. You just keep her there for the attack. Cycling Shiroka, I keep getting her, and I pulled on her when I started playing on her banner. I got her. I had to guarantee her with 200 pulls. Yeah, I'm a bit of a dumbass, but I've grown wiser since then. She deals AoE blue damage. That's basically all she does. Yeah, I mean she's good. If you level her, she deals good damage. I have no idea what else to say about her. Hifumi, cost recovery when she uses her X. So you can lower her X cost with like something, with like UI, let's say, and she's gonna have 2 X's for free. For 3 points, I mean. And then she's just gonna regen a ton of recovery costs for you. So that's why she's good. She also taunts with this thing. That's pretty much it. She's used to when you need a taunt in some content, and she gives you X points. She's just all around great. Also, I guess people like her for some reason, so you can build her. No judging. Hoshino, the standard one, also really good because she stuns on her ult. That's pretty much it. Level this, Yeah, use her when you need the stun in a tank. Mina, really good because she groups enemies. She's the only person, or I mean, let's just say she's the only student in the game that groups, because the other alternative is just not good. Yeah, she's a tank that jumps in, groups enemies, blows them up. Very useful for some content. You can probably imagine which content that will be. Serena Christmas, I need to get a lot of her stars up before I start using her. Also, I got the other Christmas variant unit, and they stack well together because they both get these stacks of Holy Knight's blessings. They both get the same stacks, so they complement each other well. And why I have her pinned is just because she gives piercing damage boost somewhere. Yeah, crit damage, and she should be giving piercing damage. Yeah, piercing effectiveness right here. So I expect to maybe use her with Mika sometime just for fun. She's just here for fun. Okay, this is the end of pins. Now we just go by the characters I have leveled the most. Akana, you get her for free from the shop. She gives Death Down, which is super useful, especially for like Bina raids. And gives Evasion Down, which is super good, and also she moves fast, so she can mess up some enemy compositions maybe in PvP if you're into that. Bina, she just sits there and shoots. So if you're doing some raid boss like Bina where you just need to shoot him and do nothing else, you don't have to move her, you don't have to think of any smart shit to do, you just pop it down, she keeps shooting. That's all she does. She's just a stationary turret, so she's just there for DPS. Pretty alright, pretty good, before you get the alternatives like Mika or Maki or Kazusa or whatever. We'll get to them later. We don't talk about that, that's just my personal preference. I mean, I don't mean the lowly Stalin part, I mean the tank. This was the first tank unit in the game, or I mean the first one I got at least. And I was a World of Tanks top 100 EU player at one point, and that's basically all you have to know. Yeah, she's kind of mid, even with her special gear thingy, but you know, what can I do? Yeah. Nanami, this is the completely free unit you get when you start the game. You can only get her Ligma from buying it. There's no other way to get it. So getting her to 3-star weapon is gonna cost you a lot. She's good, but she's always out of range of enemies for some reason. And she works really well if you pair her up with Tomoe, which is a free event unit from the Ivan Kupala from the Russian Chirino event, I guess, the Russian Academy, whatever it's called, Red Winter. Yeah, if you pair them up, if you put her in the Russian national team, which is gonna be like Chirino, Onsen Nodoka, we're gonna get to Chirino later, she's super good. Tomoe, to make her range smaller, and like the Marina, which is the Russian tank, she works really well at clearing, because Tomoe gives her a crit rate and crit damage, but she lowers everyone's attack range, which makes Nanami run up to enemies and just actually hit them. Otherwise, they're gonna be out of range most of the time. Chise, really good damage over time, blue AoE. That's pretty much it. Haruna, damage, big PP damage, really big damage. Usually one-shots things in PvP in a single line. I don't really use her, but she's super good. Fubuki, I do not know why I maxed her out. I am autistic, that's pretty much it. Other than that, she's only useful in a hot raid, and that's it, because she has stun on her auto attack. That's all she does. She also has a ton of like attack up stuff and crit, but she doesn't deal that much damage, even though she has all of these skills for her personal damage. Maki, one of the best units, you get her for free, get her, level her, excels in any piercing type raids, especially field Bina. Yeah, she's like Bina before, she just keeps shooting stuff, does a lot of damage to a single target. Here's Chirino, ton of damage to AoE, gives you cost recovery. This is why you run the Russian national team, because every Russian student gives you more cost recovery. That's pretty much it. Really good, really cute, really funny, you know, all of this stuff. Here's Marina. She becomes invulnerable for like 20 seconds. So she simply doesn't die for 20 seconds, which is super valuable. You can heal her up. Even if this ends, she doesn't like instantly die. You can heal her and she's gonna keep living. Also pushes people back, super good. I mean, for me she's super good. I think she's more like medium to good for most people. But yeah, works in not rational team. This isn't Genshin. Russian national is not as tanky because no fucking defense, as you can see. So she dies pretty quick otherwise. And also insanely good for blue. Kind of special Perodzilla. Okay. The Godzilla raid. Because she can cleanse herself with this. She heals herself and cleanses herself with debuffs. And Perodzilla places a debuff on your frontmost unit that lowers their defense by like a bazillion. So they die very quickly, and as soon as Perodzilla starts lasering her, you just press this and she's fine. That's pretty much it. Hazumi track, free unit. I don't know if you're gonna get her for free later. I mean, 5-8 star for free. You're gonna get her for free, but on the first time she came out, there was a bug, and they just basically gave her completely maxed out for free. Even though they did, she's kind of okay damage-wise. That's pretty much it. I didn't know why I maxed this one out. This was my first free unit for the first event when I started playing. That's why. Coconut is fun. Bounces from enemy to enemy, stuns them, deals a lot of damage. 5 targets max. Misses a fuck ton though. Her hit rate is really bad. So yeah, try to get some accuracy on her somehow and she's gonna get good. And best single target healing in the game. That's pretty much it. So if you need someone to stay alive, put this on them, they're gonna stay alive. Hasumi, very good single target damage. Same as the event version you just saw, but this one's yellow. That's pretty much it. Serena, one of the best healers in the game. Reposition, moves one ally, heals a lot of HP for only 2 costs, has a passive heal as well. That's it. Sarika, single target, auto attack, use her mid game. She's really good mid game, even still good somewhat good late game. You can keep her for sure. Keep leveling her, she's gonna get better. Neru, single target, very cheap, tanks a lot. I think she has evasion or something like that. But basically she doesn't die really quick and she deals good damage to a single target. Here's Tomoe, already talked about her. Yoshimi is here because reasons? Yeah, let's not talk about it. Michiru, same. Big wife potential, I would say. Really good unit. And she's free. Michiru is free and she's hilarious. Michiru, you get her for free from the shop. Good single target damage. Really good. She's like Karen, but red. Here's Midori. Also, if you level her up, she works with Momoi, but she's not necessary. Small Shun, I maxed her out because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, more like I had a lot of the resources because there weren't any other units from this academy. So I just spent them all on her, and then I got the real Shun, which is like 100 times better than her. Is also probably like 10 years old, so do with that what you will. Deals a lot of single target damage, but it's not worth it. Takes a huge amount of investment, as you can see, and even at these levels of investments, she still dies instantly at any raid boss you try, so not good. Shizuko, core for Shirokuro raid. You have to level this, and that's it. You have to level this, you have to get her stars, you have to level her up. So her cow can survive the balls Shirokuro throws on you. And also, again, top tier character wise. So yeah, Saya. Akari is fuck Saya. Akari is good. AOE. Again, mid game. Akari is more of mid game. Late game, she's still good, but it's your choice if you want to invest into her. I had Mutsuki or Mitsuki or whatever her name is as my choice. Ayane, medium AoE heal. Chinatsu, single target cleanse, which you will not have any options for cleanse for a long time in the game, so she's worth investing into. I sometimes take her for some content where I really need to cleanse that stuff and I need a heal. Even though she's not really leveled, I still use her. Also, you get her for free. Junko, good damage, really good damage. Doesn't really die. Yeah, she gets invincible too. She deals more damage the lower her HP is, and she does deal a lot of damage. She even has a special thingy here, which does something, so I'm sure you'll like her. Asuna is like Izuna, but worse. She's basically like a budget Izuna. I do not understand what people's obsession is with her. I don't think she's a good character, so you can dislike the video below. I'm sure you'll be able to. Kirino, very cute. Yeah, Hare. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Amy's trash tier until you invest into her a lot, then she becomes good. But until you do, she just keeps dying because she has no evasion, pretty much. I mean, now I have a lot of defense on her because of the bag, 1300. Otherwise, she would have like 700 or something if I didn't have her 3-star and everything, you know. Yeah, because this gives her like a lot of HP and everything, just the stars and stuff. So if you overinvest into her, she becomes good. I have no idea why her choice of outfit is the way it is. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hanako, AoE overtime heal, which is useful in some content. She's useful somewhere, so don't sleep on her. Kotori, very underused, undervalued student in my opinion. I've used her on the commissions, the activity report commissions, where you have to kill a lot of enemy units. Because of her basic skill, which basically makes her destroy a line of enemies every 35 seconds. If you position her right, this is really useful. Also, she's got reposition, and she gives you shield. So she's like Summer Shizuka but budget. So she's worth it if you need reposition and shield, and you don't have Summer Shizuka, you use Kotori. She's very slept on, and I believe she's got way more potential than people give credit for. Haruka, really good. Late game, don't sleep on her, you can keep leveling her up, especially if you like her. I think she's one of the best daughters in the game for sure, would adopt her if I were more of a responsible adult, and if she was real, that too. Doesn't matter what she does, basically she doesn't die, and that's what you want from a red tank. Also she's got some pretty insane percentages on her X skill. Eri, the only student that, well, it used to be the only useless student in the game, but then they introduced Shirokuro Insane. Shirokuro Insane deals 1,000,000 damage, or at least on the Japanese server she deals 1,000,000, on global she deals 600,000 damage to anything that is slowed, that her teacups hit, and you can slow Shirokuro with this. Move speed slow for 20 seconds. So you can make her hit herself, and you're gonna deal 1,000,000 damage, or I mean, if you're not Japanese, you're gonna deal 600k. That's the only use for her in the game. Otherwise, she's completely useless. So you don't have to level her. I used her for Shirokuro Insane with these stats that you see here, because you can I just grinded her from missions. Otherwise, I didn't invest. Kayoko. Good fear, AoE, otherwise useless, so she's used on HUD and nowhere else. Pretty good character though. Suzumi, she got her gear, she might be meta, not sure yet, deals pretty good damage, she's very mid tier, you get her when you start the game. And now she got this, so she might be good, unsure about that. Yuri, I mean she's hot as fuck, I suppose, in some of the art I saw online at least. But I prefer Fuka. Fuka is definitely waifu material, like real, not waifu funny, but real, like, life goal waifu material for sure. Other than that, she's shit. Yeah. What the fuck is that? So Miria, you get a ton of her for free. And she's mid-tier, pretty much, but you get so much of her for free that you can build her, she's gonna be good, just because of all of these stars you get. Aaron New, she's kinda shit, not gonna lie, and she's limited too, so I would not recommend pulling on her. Get New Year Motsuki instead, as I said before. They're both limited, except Aaron New Year is just trash until you super invest into her, where she can be used for like one raid for Chesed, and that's it. Koharu, really good. This is like one of the units that I unpinned, and I had her pinned before. She's super good, and if I don't say that, I might be in danger from some of her fans online. But yeah, AoE damage and heal, and that's pretty much all you have to know. She also heals passively. Chihiro only used on HUD. Standard banner, not worth pulling forever. Maybe worth building only if you want to really go deep into the HUD rate. New Year Junko, you get her for free. She does some AoE blue stuff, that's it. Tsurugi, I do not want to know the kind of people that are into this character design. Other than that, she's actually very slept on. She's really strong. I was able to clear some event content where I had to use her because I was running out of other students. She deals a ton of damage to when there's a lot of enemies to kill. She's really useful, so we'll level her up later. Mari, I don't know, a lot of people like her. That's pretty much it. Not exactly for me. Izumi, yeah, I think this is one of the worst students in the game, unfortunately. And this is coming from someone who maxed out her alternate skin. Aris, I just got her recently, needs a lot of investment to be good. Lore wise, super good character. Definitely adoptable out of 10. Senna rides in a truck that heals and shoots grenade launchers, so that's cool. But I want some stars on her, so it's gonna be sometime before I start using her. Yeah. Mimori, reposition, but she's a standard banner 3-star character, so you need to get her. So it's not free reposition. If you do get her, she's kind of middle tier, because all she does is... Well, she does give you attack speed, so that's useful. But so you have Swimsuit Shizuka, so there's no point to level her. Unless you only have her and you haven't got a Swimsuit Shizuka then you can level her. But you're gonna get Swimsuit Shizuka soon anyway. Saki, really good. She replaces Karin as a static. If you get enough stars on her, she gets the same damage, the same amount of attack as Karin. And she's a bit more, even a bit more, I think, than Karin. Yeah, if you get her high enough on stars. But it's gonna take you a lot to get her high enough on stars. And Karin you get for free during the event. You get a ton of Karin Ligma. So Saki is pretty good, but you need stars. Hibiki, I'm using her right now because there's a raid or like a joint task for event where you need to deal a lot of damage over time, and she deals 2 minutes of damage over time, but you get so little of her stars during the event that it's gonna take you some time to actually max her out. Also, she's, I think, one of the most adorable units, if not the most adorable units in the game. Tsurugi swimsuit, same stuff as the yellow one, except in a swimsuit. A bit more tolerable than normal Tsurugi. Here's the other Christmas unit. She heals and gives stacks, like whatever. Asuna Bunny is pretty bad. She's standard, even though she's got this bunny outfit. She's there for these two reasons that you can see on the screen right now. Other than she's just not good. Yuzu, incredibly cute. You can play tic-tac-toe on her forehead. Other than that, she deals a lot of damage, but she's got low crit rate, so if you want to use her, you're gonna have to restart a lot in boss raids. Nodoka, she's useful for some challenge content in events where enemies have a lot of evasion. So you just use her to actually be able to clear some stuff, but very niche. Pretty cute though, I suppose. Hiyori, Arius, so she can work in tandem if you have a lot of them. Gives defense down, only worth it if you have 3 or more Arius students, because then it's a lot of defense down, and it actually has a big impact. Kaede, this is the most useless student in the game, but incredibly cute. I even have her on my main screen on shuffle. Plays Magic the Gathering, I suppose, and that's pretty much it. Her skills make no sense. They're just random weird shit. So like, oh yeah, defense, oh yeah, healing is barrier, oh yeah, max HP. Yeah, she does nothing except be cute, which is good enough. And she's a 3-star, I believe, which I do not understand why. Wakamo's swimsuit needs to be built is good because stuns when attacking, which is gonna be useful for either her raid, which is coming soon, Wakamo raid, and Hot raid. Noah selects a target, focuses assault on the target, and decreases death. That's pretty much it. If you don't have swimsuit Izuna, which you're not gonna have because it's a limited character, then you can use her. Hifumi, tank, very cool, very cute, fucking 10 cost that you cannot lower. You cannot use any X lowering thingy with her. Maybe except Kokona, which is gonna lower it by 1, which is not really gonna save anything. Yeah, so unusable because of this. When she gets some stuff here that maybe makes this more tolerable, she's gonna see some use. Kana is like Wakamo, like the blue Wakamo, but yellow, and she's a support. She does the same stuff. She accumulates damage on a target and then pops them for a lot of damage. Moe is AoE damage. I kind of hate her character because I'm a big sticker for responsibility, being a responsible adult, and she's like the opposite of that. Also, her visual design is like whatever. Asurika deals damage. Deals pretty good damage. She's like Momoi but support. If you level her, she's gonna carry you for sure. Here's Kazusa, which is now useful, well, not useless, but she's now out of meta because Mika exists. So, like, why would you use Kazusa when Mika, you know, when you have Mika? If you don't, she's good. She's really good. She used to be super meta until Mika came around. So if you use her, don't feel bad about it for sure. Again, wife over meta. Tsukuyo, pretty cute, I suppose. She's a ninja squad, and Michiru, I didn't show, but Michiru before the free ninja unit you get, she gets more attack the more ninja students you have in your team. So she works well with that. Also, she survives very well. If you level her, she's gonna survive. She heals. She got evasion and stuff. Miyako, I think she's also evasion focused, I believe. She has a stun. She tanks. That's pretty much it. Miu, her percentages are not that good. When she gets her gear, she might be way stronger. Cute. Other than that, you can build her, but her percentages are not enough to actually deal damage. Hinata, Shigure, super adorable. Is an alcoholic though, which gives her very negative points in my book. So she's gonna have to throw that flask away before she tries to marry me. Other than that, not worth. The percentages are not working out for her to deal damage. She's very mid tier. And that's it. Thank fuck. This was longer than I thought. The few units that I do not have. Jesus Christ, when did they add? I was only missing like 2 of them. So now they added a few more units. Okay, Misaki, super depressed. I would recommend you stay away from this kind of people in real life. I've ran across numerous of these archetypes and it never works out. Because their goal is just to hurt you emotionally, and you cannot fix her, no matter how much you try. Utaha, big glow up. I'm very sad that she's like the only student I didn't get, or like one of the few students that I did not get when I was pulling for Mika. Other than that, I don't know what she does. She rides around the turret. She's super cool. If I do get her, I'm gonna sim for her big time. Koyuki, very mid tier. Akane Bunny, very mid tier. Or I mean, she's useful for like 1 raid or something for Hieronyms, I think. Megu, also mid tier, but she's got flamethrower, which is very cool. So if you like her, go for it. Sakurako, also very niche for specific content and requires a lot of investment. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you enjoyed, I'm very glad for you. Have a great one.